We are the best team in the whole entire world. I'm so proud of all you guys. 1, 2, 3, team. 1, 2, 3, team.
After the jacket's on, just have it slow. And then, you know.
Real quick.
Yeah, and then freeze frame.
Right, obviously, like that.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'll be smiling. You know, like with the contacts in it.
Right.
It looks sharp. But like, let's get creative on the jacket and try to get like a.
This is the first time Diego has ever put in a contact lens. All right. First contact ever in. My name's Diego Byrnes. I was born in Long Island, New York. And then I moved to Pennsylvania around first grade. I've been around here ever since. I went to school at Indiana University. I graduated with a Bachelor's of Fine Arts. Then I moved to Pittsburgh as soon as I graduated. And I've been here for about 3 years now. Other than the Ruckus brothers, I play with a band called Gypsy and his Band of Ghosts with my friend Giuseppe and Capolupo and Scott Maniglia, and who are also in this Thriller show this year. And other than that, I've been sitting in with a lot of the musicians from the Ruckus brothers, like Velvet Heat, and a bunch of the other guys lately. So it's been a good time. I've been gigging all over the city lately.
I'm originally from Somerset, Pennsylvania. I moved to Pittsburgh when I went to school here at Duquesne University, and I've lived in Pittsburgh for about 7 years now. And my main projects are with several different Pittsburgh-based groups. One's a salsa band, Guaracha Latin dance band, a Brazilian chamber ensemble called Choro Novinho, a few jazz groups, one of which I'm also performing with the other members in this project called Velvet Heat. And then other than that, I'm sort of just a freelance musician, and I'm also a teacher in Pittsburgh Public School District.
I am from here. I live in Lawrenceville currently, and I play drums in Gypsy and his Band of Ghosts, aside from the Ruckus brothers.
My name is Nick Coronado. I'm originally from California, and I moved out here last year in August. So I've been here a little over a year. I came here for CMU, where I'm studying, well, I was studying music composition, but I just recently switched to music and technology, which is more of a like computer science and electrical engineering kind of stuff. So currently, I'm involved in a couple things. I have a project with a friend of mine called Archipelagon, which is like a little producer duo thing. And we're coming out with an album pretty soon. It's just sort of like a quick little, few songs here and there, almost like an EP. And then I also have a DJ producer name under Salmera that I'm sort of working on. And nothing too formal yet, just sort of playing around with ideas and stuff.
My name's Anton DeFade. I was born in Nashville, but I was raised here in Pittsburgh. I do a lot of freelance work around town, just like to pay the bills and everything. But the main thing that I do is a group called Elevations, which is a jazz collaborative, like a collaborative jazz group consisting of me, George Hyde, the third, Brett Williams, Benny Benak, and Michael Stephenson. And
I'm Naoko. I play trombone in this project. I am originally from Osaka, Japan. This is my 7th year in Pittsburgh. I'm classical trained, but I play a bunch of different stuff in Pittsburgh right now. I play a little bit jazz. I play Brazilian music called choro. I play with my husband, he's a guitarist. We play duet a lot. And then some contemporary project too.
My name's Vince Cuneo. I'm involved with the Cait Cuneo project. She's my sister. It's like R&B, hip hop, a bunch of jazz, a mix of stuff. Right now I'm working on Chelsea Nicole and the Vamps' first EP. Chelsea's my friend and it's been a lot of fun. Working on my own stuff currently as well. It's hopefully going to be some funk project. It's real basic right now, but we're doing a little bit of writing myself, so.
My name is Giuseppe Capolupo. I live in South Hills in Jefferson Borough, right in between Clareton and Jefferson to be precise. I currently sing and play lead guitar for Gypsy and his Band of Ghosts, which is a folk Americana project, and I drum for a metal band from the Robinson area called Once Nothing.
My name is Cait Cuneo, and I'm from Connellsville, Pennsylvania, and I happen to be in a band, and we self-titled it Cait Cuneo, and that's my main project at the time, as of right now.
My name is Jessica Zamiska. I'm from Charleroi, Pennsylvania, which is about 45 minutes south of Pittsburgh. I'm involved in a lot of projects around Pittsburgh. My main project at the moment is Velvet Heat, which is a female jazz trio. Arianna Powell and Abby Gross are both in it. I've also worked with Vince Cuneo and Cait Cuneo on their project, backup singer for her. And I'm really excited about a project with Arianna Powell. The two of us are working on some original music, so it should be coming soon.
Well, my name is Arianna Powell. I'm originally from Penargil, Pennsylvania. It's a very small town. It's like half an hour north of Allentown, Pennsylvania. Musically, I'm involved in tons of different things. I teach mostly during the day. I have a bunch of private guitar students. And performance-wise, I play with a group called Velvet Heat. We're a female jazz trio. We tend to have a drummer and a bass player play with us too. We play a lot of jazz clubs around the city. And that singer from Velvet Heat, Jessica Zamiska, she's a singer in this Michael Jackson show. We're going to start a project, or we're in the beginning stages of a project, an original music project where we're writing and hoping to be performing soon.
My name is Gene Stovall. I'm from Pittsburgh. I was born in New Orleans. I go by a bunch of different names. Blanket, Muppet Face, Gene, Wild Style, Gene Wild Style. I belong to the Terrible Trio, which is a combination of musicians who play our arrangements of other people's songs. And I used to belong to a group called The Eviction Notice. That was awesome. I was also in a band called Jive Family.
My name is Max Somerville. I am from Aliquippa, which is like 40 minutes north of here. It's where the killers hang. It's where the weak are killed and eaten. That's why I'm so tough. Right now I'm in a couple different groups, but my main focus is my band called Recluse. and it's like a garage rock piano, Elton John throwback, funky, sexy, sexy sex of a band, and it's pretty awesome. It's my pride and joy.
My name is JD Chaisson. I'm the trumpet player. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, and I'm a graduate student at Duquesne University, and I'm involved in a bunch of different projects around town, mostly freelance stuff.
Okay, so I'm currently not many musical projects on the side, but I am doing some photography work, focusing on macro photography. I have my own company. It's called Macroscopic Solutions, where we are taking a scientific approach to photography, and vice versa. I mean, we're using the two together, trying to bring both worlds together through art and science, creating a whole digital archive of tiny scientific specimens. We focus a lot on taking pictures of bugs and insects. Anything in the small world is quite a beautiful thing once you look at it through the right lens, in the right way. So that's my side project right now. Spending some time showing some of those photos, some of that work, and just trying to grow my company.
We are Tracksploitation. They call us the time-traveling DJ duo out of Pittsburgh. What we do is we take a bunch of genres of music and different instruments and sounds, and we like to blend them together to make crazy new music and different soundscapes. And just, we're just trying to create music in a way that is had never been heard.
We use a lot of digital equipment, MIDI controllers and things like that, things from the computer, and we've been trying to play these digital instruments as if they had soul. So when we perform our sets, it's always improv. We never know what we're going to play. So I think that kind of adds to the honesty of our music.
I'm in a band called Gene the Werewolf. We play around the Pittsburgh area. We just got signed to a label out in Europe called Frontiers Records, which is the same label that puts out CDs by Journey, Whitesnake, and all those old throwback bands. Other than that, I just spent a lot of time writing new material, and I actually sing for the Reb Beach project, and Reb Beach is the guitar player for Whitesnake and Winger. And on my spare time, when he's not on tour, he actually plays a few shows which cover songs from all the bands he's been in, and so I sing for his band too as well, and it was kind of like a thrill because I grew up listening to that kind of stuff, and now I'm singing for his band, so it's kind of weird, Ironically, I'm playing the werewolf, the alter ego of Diego in Thriller.
I'm Matt Denton. Sorry.
I'm Adam Chizmar, and the company is Mindcrime Studios. Mindcrime is kind of a small startup production house. We do motion graphics, we do video, we do animation, 2D and 3D, compositing work, stuff like that. Mostly commercial right now, but we have some ideas of stuff that we want to do in the future. And occasionally we get fun projects like the Thriller one, and get to express our creativity.
Yeah.
Is that about it?
That's about it.
That's about it.
I have nothing to add.
I've been working on that pitch for a minute.
Could have been a makeup artist instead of a musician. This is just one of the five.
Oh, this is still just one.
This is still just one. I'm telling you, it's gonna be thick.
It's gonna be.
It's here somewhere. Yeah. I know. I might have black. Huh? Like white. I just gave myself a tiny mustache. Keep it perfect.
You know what the hardest part of this entire show for me is going to be?
What's that?
Not itching my face from here on out.
Yeah, right? Wow, 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 wow. Dude, that intro to PYT just makes me want to drop the beat so hard.
Yeah.
I just want to get white girl wasted and dance.
That's awesome.
I touched my nose accidentally. I ruined it, son of a bitch. I ruined it.
Thinking in my bag. Okay.
Hello, Dad. Good to see you.
Broken social.
Yeah, they're
Jesus Christ, Starfuck.
You need help getting anything out?
Oh?
Actually, if you could grab this. Max, your hair is gonna be. You're gonna be alive.
Double cover for me.
Are you okay?
Yeah. My uses.
Oh my God! Look already.
Yeah.
Look at the volume already.
Ladies, my name is Lenny. Do know white people get money, don't spend it. Or maybe they get money, buy babies. I'm money bad, 80 gold, chance to go 8-bit. I know Spike Lee, go finish, but let me finish.
I began playing my instrument when I was 9 years old. I started showing interest in music and playing different things when I was much younger, but I started taking it seriously whenever I was in 4th grade, 9 years old.
I was about 4 when I started singing. I've always just liked to sing. You know, I always liked music. I'm a church girl. My dad's a pastor. And so I always grew up around music. I used to play the tambourine really good. Now I can't remember how to do it. But I just grew up singing in a house full of music. You know, my dad used to sing in the basement to tracks. That was it.
Great. I just got started through school back in the day, like, 6th grade. They get you into music. Started playing drums because I couldn't play saxophone. But ended up working on a little bit better, I think.
I was about 14, I think, and I started playing keyboards. I actually got a guitar for Christmas, and I played it and just sucked really bad. And my brother got a keyboard, and we ended up trading, basically. So I started there, and then I actually started getting more into music just through composition. So I wasn't very interested in learning how to play like classical pieces or just play as much as just be able to play things I write or write in general.
Yeah, I was really young. I was probably like 2 years old when both my parents got me singing. My mom would teach me church songs, and my dad taught me a bunch of folk songs, and he played acoustic guitar, and he would teach me the words to Bob Dylan songs or something. So I started singing when I was very young, and then I started playing piano when I was 5, and so I always loved music. And then when I was about 12, I started playing guitar. And that was a lot of because the fact that my dad, he's a great guitar player, and I wanted to be like that.
I started piano when I was 4. Then I joined the brass band in elementary school. I played percussion for 2 years. Then I started trombone in middle school.
It's really hard to remember. I was probably 10 years old, but it was definitely my mother. She's a music teacher, and you can't live in my house and not play an instrument, and my whole family loves music, so it was just always part of our life.
Yeah, so I guess I started becoming a live performer in 3rd grade, but I'd been a singer my whole life, just because I just sang with the television. Who was my best friend at the time? I started singing in 3rd grade, so I guess I was 7 or 8 years old, something like that. So yeah, I've been performing since then. I became a professional band leader in 1995. I started a band at Duquesne, and we won the Battle of the Bands in 1996. And ever since then, I felt like I needed to be on stage at all times, or as much as I could be. Whether it was a good show or a bad show, it was still a show.
It was about, I think it was actually a really young age. I think probably around, I would go as far as to say 5, actually, because I believe it or not, I think Thriller was one of the most influential albums, and I was around 5 years old when it came out. So I think probably right around that age that I heard that album, and I can remember I'd go over to my neighbor's house, and we'd be swinging on a swing set, listening to Thriller, and but what made me really want to actually start playing music was, I took piano lessons as a kid, and I was playing the piano, and I was in music class, and I asked my music teacher after class one day if I could go up and play the piano, and when I got done playing, I remember I played Money, I don't even know who sings it, that's what I want. And I got done, and all the girls in the class went, ah! And I was like, well, I want to do this for the rest of my life. So.
I've been singing since I was little. I remember my first memory of singing is probably from church, maybe when I was 5. And I took piano lessons starting from the age of 8.
Pretty much, this might sound generic, but pretty much as soon as I can speak, I love music. My mom's a music teacher, so constantly I would hear her lessons or playing the piano or singing or playing flute all the time. So we're a very musical family, so that's how we got introduced to everything.
I was in the 3rd grade. I'm not sure how old that makes me, but around the 3rd grade, and I just saw a lot of local bands local Dixieland bands that got me involved in trumpet playing and stuff like that.
Well, I've been doing music for maybe 10 years now. And what got me started, I guess, I was just into the hip hop scene, like graffiti and like breakdancing and all that stuff. But I had my fair share of both. I did the breakdancing thing. Meh, I was all right. I did some graffiti. It's okay, you know, but I tried my hand at turntables and it was like the last thing. I'm like, yeah, why not? Let's get the last element of hip hop in. So I started DJing parties at his house, like way back in our college days. It was a long time ago. So that really was like 10 years ago. And yeah, I guess where I got my start really is doing parties at Jordan's house. And it just snowballed into different music projects until we eventually combined together to do Tracksploitation.
When I first got GarageBand, when I first got my Mac, I used to make songs on there, but they're at like 120 BPMs because I guess that's what I was into then. And he just had gotten his turntable, so I'd go over there and like, oh, can you just scratch over this beat I made? And he's like, oh, it's a fast beat. I'll have to get good at scratching fast. And like that was like way before we even like thought of like doing music together out in the world.
I was 6 when I started playing piano because my dad got me into the Beatles, the White Album particularly. And that's why I play pop music as well. I'm just all about it. And I wanted to learn the song Don't Pass Me By, which is the one song that Ringo sings. It's like a terrible song. And I loved it though. And I just asked my dad to teach me how to play it one day because he was always playing piano. And from there I just started like just banging on the piano as much as I could. And just never stopped.
I was roughly around the age of 9, and my aunt's house over in Elizabeth, I think it's a town, just right over the river. They had a little keyboard there, and I had this really, really weird ability at a young age to be able to hear a melody on the radio and then transpose that to a keyboard, even if it's just like a simple like 3 or 4 note melody. But I started doing that at a super young age, and my parents were like, maybe we should get him a keyboard and maybe we should get him piano lessons and see what shakes loose. So I did classical piano lessons for about 4 years. And it got boring because I just got sick of playing sheet music. And I wanted to write my own songs and improvise and do that kind of thing. And I never really became super proficient at piano. I mean, I got a lot better than I was at 9 years old, but that was kind of like the foundation that I laid for a future musical career, we'll call it. And not too shortly after that, my parents bought my older brother Vince a drum set, and he never touched the thing. I mean, he'd practice every once in a while, but as soon as I saw that thing on Christmas morning in the basement, my eyes lit up, and I'm like, what is this thing? I need this in my life.
So how I got started playing music, I was about 12, and my mom asked me one day, she said, hey, you know, what are you doing with yourself? You're bored during the summer, you have nothing to do. You want to like take some karate lessons or something? And I said, no, I don't want to take karate lessons, but I'll learn to play guitar. And the reason that I wanted to do that was just because I had a couple friends that played bass, a couple friends played drums, they needed a guitar player, and I said, well, I can be that guy. And that, okay, well, I missed the first question, where I'm from anyway, and that, I guess, kind of ties into the whole question. But yeah, me and my best friends were from small town Hickory, Pennsylvania. So that's where we grew up playing all of our music, first show at community centers there and things like that, and just have built from there.
Mindcrime probably officially, like the name and stuff, is probably only about a year old, I would think.
Maybe 2. I think it's 2.
Maybe 2, but originally it's just, we went to school for it. We went to school for doing this kind of stuff, and on our jobs we don't really get to do it that much. And so just get fed up and you go, all right, well then I'm just going to do it anyway. And Matt had the same kind of mentality. So we just started kind of finding work and doing all our own shit and, making it cool.
You know, we've pretty much been doing this on the side of our actual job for at least a year, maybe 2. And
yeah,
it's just
3. I started for 3 total, but under Mindcrime, yeah, 1 or 2 years. So. 3.
Special in her heart, the girl is mine. Because the doggone girl is mine. girl is mine. Don't waste your time. The doggone girl is mine. Well, I love you more than he. Take you anywhere, but I love you endlessly. So don't let it go. Monsters crawl in search of the night to terrorize our spirit. Whoever shall be found without a soul for getting down, must stand and face the hounds of hell and rot inside of love. Don't be tonight. You're out of time, honey. From violence centuries to the end, the smoke of 40,000 years, and vicious foods from every food are closing in to cereal food. Oh, you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver.
Started with the name. The name is how it all got started. I am a big Wu-Tang Clan fan, but I always loved how they brought the ruckus. But I just always liked the word. And then one day, just brothers attached to it just sounded really good, and then I wrote it out. And then I crossed off the THERS and did the BROS apostrophe, and it just looked, I liked how it looked. I thought it just had to be something. And before I even knew what I was going to do with it, I just started saying the name around town. I was just like, the Ruckus Brothers. Yeah, the Ruckus Brothers are going to have a show soon. Just wait for it. And everyone was like, yeah, the Ruckus Brothers, all right. And then the first show that we did was myself and Giuseppe Capolupo, who in the band I play with in Gypsy and his band of Ghosts, who sings and plays guitar, but he's really a fantastic drummer. He's toured all over the world with metal bands. But I asked him to play drums while I played guitar. And then, so I set up a show. We had some other bands playing, like Backstabbing Good People. And we asked Sean, the drummer from that band, to just leave his stuff up because we closed. So we had 2 drum kits. And I had this insanely loud guitar amp. It was this tiny venue, the Lava Lounge. It only holds like 30 people. And we did not rehearse anything. We just played a half-hour set. And we had a couple PhDs from Pitt's geology department just mess around with inks on a projector. And that was the first show. It was just like a total experiment. But I knew that the name worked. It could pretty much be anything. And then we had an idea for a sick Beatles show, and we got about 11 musicians together and did my favorite Beatles record, the Magical Mystery Tour. Did that right here at James Street. Not in this room, but at James Street Gastropub and Speakeasy. That was a great night. And then this Thriller show that we're doing this year, Mr. Smalls, is really the follow-up. It's a year later.
I actually worked here at James Street with Diego, and he mentioned it, and that was like, man, that was a long time ago. But I guess he just ended up following through several months later and ended up meeting up a few times and talking about it, and I ended up playing a bigger role than I thought I was going to play. I thought I was just going to be second keyboards, but got myself more involved, I think.
Well, I was working at a flower shop a year or two ago before the Magical Mystery Tour show ever happened, and Diego called me when I was at work, and he was like, hey, we're going to do Magical Mystery Tour in its entirety, and I want you to play keyboards. And it was just like, yeah, sure, I'd like to do that. And I hadn't known Diego before then. Like, we had run into each other in the scene, but we didn't really hang out or anything or play music together, but now we've been playing music and hanging out since then, so that was a really good thing, being in the Ruckus Brothers.
Abby Gross, a saxophone player, she asked me if I wanted to play, and why not? We play in the same Brazilian group.
I got involved with the Ruckus Brothers through Diego Byrnes, probably like most people. I've been friends with Diego for a long time. We went to college together. We've played music kind of the same. I was just saying, like, we would always just jam with each other and play, pick up some acoustics and just rock out for a little bit. So we've always, discussed and sat and played music with each other. But once I was actually out of the country, and he wrote to me and said, hey man, we got this great project going on. Last year we did the Magical Mystery Tour, and that sounded cool. And he said, why don't you think about joining us? We're going to do the Thriller album. I said, of course.
Velvet Heat actually had a steady gig at James Street for a while, so we met Diego through that gig, and then last year I actually attended the Magical Mystery Tour show and had a great time, so I was really excited to be asked to do the show.
Well, at first it was the Touchfaster crew. I met those guys, and then I pretty much play with everyone in this project in some form or the other, so I got a call from Diego, and all he had to say was Michael Jackson, and money wasn't important, none of that. It was like, okay, sign me up, I'm in.
And I heard of Ruckus Brothers last year whenever they did the Magical Mystery Tour. My buddy Matt Gray drummed on that project. And I was just like, this is such an awesome concept, So whenever I got the invite to be a part of this year's show, I was just stoked. I was like, heck yeah, I love MJ, and heck yeah, I was born to play drums. Let's do this thing.
I met Diego here at James Street because James Street kind of became like a second home for me once I moved back to Pittsburgh from New York. And he was a waiter here, I guess, and I met him, and he was a really nice guy. And a few months later, I got the call to do this Thriller project.
So I had actually heard about the show before it was going on, and then about a week or so before the tenor sax player was supposed to play it, couldn't make it. So Abby gave me a call, who played alto in it, was like, hey, I know you just got a tenor saxophone, would you like to play it, in this project? And I was all aboard, so kind of a last minute shotgun. She sent me over the parts that night, learned them, worked to memorize them, and then played the gig.
Well, one of the groups that I play with at Velvet Heat, we've played here at James Street many times, and so we met Diego through that. And And so he asked me to be a part of the Michael Jackson show, and I was thrilled. I was absolutely thrilled.
Diego's a friend of mine, and he just kind of asked us to be a part of the Thriller show, and to play the pre-show and just sound effects during different songs or whatever. We didn't do much during the set. Joe scratched a little bit. I played a few sound effects, but before the whole show, we had played an all non-Thriller Michael Jackson's The Jacksons and Jackson 5 set, and after that. Diego and I just started to chop together all the live footage and the animations. But to answer your question, Diego got me involved, and I got Joe involved.
I happen to know a few of them before I heard of their project. I heard them at open mics, and I'm friends with a few of them, and they're so talented. And then I heard Magical Mystery Tour, which was awesome, at the Gastropub, actually. So it was really cool, and then they asked me to be part of the project, and I was so honored.
Well, I had did a gig with Cait, one of the background singers, and they invited me on, and that's how I got involved.
That was through our buddy Jordan Tayler, part of one half of Tracksploitation. He filled us in on the fact that the Thriller show was happening. He was involved, and I think he mentioned to Diego that we could do animations and we could do awesome stuff to have up behind the band. And we just started talking about it. And
it was a movie night. He's like, yo, come over, Diego, suit Diego, you got to meet him. He came over to Bad Movie Night we do every Wednesday, and we sat in that kitchen and talked forever about ideas and stuff.
Yeah, we hashed out a lot of what we want to do that night. Like, we thought of the whole werewolf transformation that night, and
yeah, that was a big problem he had, and then I remember solving that, and then when actually seeing it happen, it was crazy. I was like, I remember sitting in that kitchen going, maybe, and then it worked.
This will be the hardest thing.
Super nuts.
I've known Diego for a really long time. My band has actually played with his band, his ex-band Spontaneo before, up at IUP where he went to school. And I guess when this whole thing was getting put together, Diego gave me a call and he said, hey, I know your band actually covers Thriller by Michael Jackson, and we're doing this Thriller tribute project. And he just called me up and asked if I'd be interested. And I said, yeah, sure, that'd be great. So here I am.
remember to always think twice. Don't think twice. Tell my baby we danced free. Then she looked at me. She showed a photo of a baby crying. His eyes were like mine. So we danced on the floor and all around me. That people always told me, be careful what you do. Don't go around making young girls heart. Break no heart, long longer by me. And then the smile will sweep perfume. And then it happened much too soon. And I got to hand it to her girl. Yeah, a Billie Jean is not my lover. Woo! She's just a girl who thinks that I am the one. But the kid is not my son. No, 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 no. A Billie Jean is not my lover. Woo! She's just a girl who thinks that I am the one. Oh, the kid is not my son. She says I am the one, but the kid is not my son. No, no, no. I am the one, but the kid is not my son. No, 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 no. Oh, Billie Jean is not my lover. Oh, she's just a girl who claims that I am the one. No, the kid is not my son. No, no, no. She said I am the one, but the kid is not my son. No, no, no. She said breaking my heart, babe. You know what you did. She says Billie Jean is not my lover. Billie Jean is not my lover. Billie Jean is not my lover. Sing it with me. Billie Jean is not my lover.
My favorite MJ song would have to be "Bad." Makes me think of the only CD that my father had was that. So
I'm kind of biased as a player in this thing, but I really like "Baby Be Mine." It's got a hook. Every time we practice the entire album, it's always the "Baby Be Mine" hook that gets stuck in my head. So I think, in that sense, it's probably my favorite.
I'd have to say Man in the Mirror. I love that song. It makes me like dance, and I think the message is great.
She's out of my life. So pretty.
Baby Be Mine, I think is pretty smooth. Although PYT's growing on me. That's a pretty, I like the energy in that one.
Black or White. Love to dance.
My favorite, I've had Pretty Young Thing stuck in my head for like days since we started this project. I like can't get it out of my head, so I'm kind of digging on that one right now. Yeah.
Man in the Mirror, even though he didn't write it, I just felt like he was gonna make a change for once in his life, and then he made it. So he wasn't messing around. Like, he really wanted to change, and he changed.
That's really tough. I would say Butterflies, because I love that song and I sing to it, and it's really close to some of the styles I love, like R&B and soul. And then I probably would say The Way You Make Me Feel, kind of hopeless romantic. So
Billie Jean.
PYT. Yeah, it's just straight electric sex.
I'll have to just say, off of Thriller, probably my favorite song is Lady in My Life and PYT. I mean, let's be real. You can't hear the song PYT without just wanting to, like, immediately flash dance, like, wherever the heck you are. You know, as soon as you hear that chorus, I want to love you, you just immediately have to groove. It's so good.
I would actually have to go with Thriller, which was kind of I was kind of happy that Diego asked me to be a part of that song because I think that is my favorite. I think Beat It comes in a close second. So all the songs basically off the Thriller album, I think, are kind of my favorite. But it's so hard to pick one.
And Dirty Diana.
We're gonna say Speed. Is it Speed Freak? Speed Demon? Yeah.
Working day and night, just because if I go into a gig or I have a lot of work to do, if I put that song on, it gets me going.
Beat It probably is the whole Thriller album is full of so many great songs, but Beat It would probably be one of the best.
I believe it's entitled "Heal the World."
PYT. Has to be. I don't know why, I just love that song.
Leave Me Alone. Leave Me Alone. I love that song.
I know it's probably lame to say, but Beat It is probably up there, especially doing the video on this, and you just learn to appreciate how hard that song is and the awesome guitar solos in it. And it's just a very cool song, and it's so iconic. So I definitely put it up there.
That's a good one.
Looking out across the night, the city rings asleep as I hear her voice shake my window, sweet seducing sighs get me out into the night. Her walls won't hold me tonight. If this town is just a night, then let me take a bite. If they say why, tell them that it's human nature. Why does it do me that way? Why? Tell them that it's human nature. Why does it do me that way? Reaching out to touch a stranger, electric eyes are everywhere. See that girl, she knows I'm watching. She likes the way I stare. If they say why, tell them that it's human nature. Why does he do me that way? Tell them that it's human nature. Why does he do me that way? I like living this way. I like loving this way. That way. Looking out across the morning, where the city's heart begins to beat. Reaching out, I touched her shoulder. I'm dreaming of the breeze. If they say why, tell them that it's human nature. Why does it do me that way? If they say why, tell them that it's human nature. Why does it do me that way? If they say why, tell them that it's human nature. Why does it do me that way? If they say why does he do me this way? If they say why, tell them that it's human nature. Why does he do me that way? Yeah, I don't know. I feel some way about you. You make me go crazy, baby. Oh. Where did you come from, baby? Ooh, ooh, won't you take me there right away? Won't you, baby? To the road you got to be. The best thing ever happened to me. Say, don't you know now is the perfect time? We can do it right, hit the city lights. Don't you know now? Been a loving way. I wanna take it to the mass. I want to love you. Pretty young thing, show me some loving. Tell me love and care, and I'll take you there. Yes, I will. I want to love you. Pretty young thing, show me some loving. Tell me love and care, and I'll take you there. Yes, I will. Anywhere you wanna go. Oh, baby, you got me begging. You know I'm in love with you. Right away, don't you, baby? Oh, you feel me with everything. Call my name when I do you, baby. Don't you know life is the perfect time? We can hit the lights, we can do it right. You know life in a loving way. I'll give you all that I got. I want to love you. Pretty young thing, show me some loving. To the love and care, and I'll take you there. Yes, I will. Now I want to love you. Pretty young thing, show me some loving. To the love and care, and I'll take you there. Yes, I will. Everybody ready? Bring your neck, repeat after me. Say na 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 na. Say na 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 na. Woo! Take you there, take you there. I want to love you, pretty young thing. Show me loving, gonna love and care, and I'll take you there. Yes, I will. Said I wanna love you, pretty young thing. Show me some loving, take the love and care, and I'll take you there. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. You want to? You want to? Said I'll take you there. Gonna love and care. Take you there, yeah, 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 yeah.
There'll be no darkness tonight. Lady, our love will shine, lighting the night. Just put your trust in my heart and meet me in paradise. Now is the time, girl. You're every wonder in this world to me. A treasure time won't steal away. baby, and I'm gonna love you till the end of time.
We are the Ruckus Brothers! And so are you! Thank you so much for coming. This has been Thriller. I'd like to introduce a couple people, more than a couple, and we're gonna bring them all up. First off, I'd like to introduce the Animators, who made the amazing visuals that you saw up here today. To Matthew Denton and Adam Chizmar. Give it up for them. Awesome. Get over here. All right. Next up's the rhythm section. We're gonna take a walk, all right? We have Scott Maniglia on auxiliary percussion. Anton DeFade holding it down all night. And the man, the myth, the legend, Giuseppe Capolupo. Don't think I forgot about these guys over here. I need you to give it up for Jordan Tayler and Joe Kennedy of Tracksploitation. Woo! They've been spinning all night. They're gonna keep spinning where we're done so you guys can dance. All right, next we're going back to the keyboards. Okay, let's move back. We gotta show up. Nick Coronado back here on his big ass Rhodes. And of course, the bravest lion I know, Max Somerville. Woo! All right. Over here we have the horn section. Naoko Hirai on trombone. Chaisson on trumpet. On saxophone. And my girl, give it up for Abby Gross. Woo! All right, we got some guitar players here. This is my man, Cuneo. Woo! You might not recognize him because the zombie ate his face off. Daniel Saftner. And of course, no one is ever gonna forget Arianna Powell! All right, we got some singers over here. Introduce Faith O'Tay! All right, Vince's sister, Cait Cuneo! And give it up for Jessica Zamiska! I want to introduce everyone's favorite werewolf, John Belan! Make some noise! Woo! And no one is ever gonna forget my hero. Get over here, bro. Gene Wildstyle Stovall! Woo! Let's bring the dancers up here. Come on, dancers. Everybody. same old time.